Right, fantastic. Right, yeah, good evening. Oh, no, good evening. Sorry, it's only 11:30 in the morning here. Okay. We'd like to do. I've done 3 videos so far, so this one is going to be video number 4, not to be missed. It's about our life as an expat here in this country. I am French. You probably guess with my accent. And my friend here, Ercole, is...
I'm Italian.
Is Italian. Right, so... Okay, so I came to this country a long time ago, in 1991. And up and downs, challenges. I will be doing soon a video with my wife. So that would be interesting to discuss, to find out about expat life through a spouse or a partner. But for now, we are going to concentrate on Italy and France. Now, when I first came to this country, I had all sorts of many cultural shocks. Like, for example, in France, when we go to a party, we tend to kiss each other. Okay, on the cheek. Is that the same in Italy?
In Italy, we kiss in the cheek, and it's very common to friend or family. Always we kiss in the cheek.
On the cheek, yeah. Yes. And how many times do you kiss each other in Italy?
Two times.
2 times?
2 times. Yeah.
Is that across Italy?
Yes, all the same, yeah.
All the time, so it's twice?
Twice, yeah.
All over Italy?
All over Italy, yeah.
Oh, but in France, we seem to be a bit more complicated than that. We tend to complicate things for whatever reasons, yeah. It just depends on the regions. It's between 2 and 4. In some regions in France, we kiss twice.
Okay.
One on one side, and obviously one on the other. And in some regions, in 3. And some, guess what? It's even 4. We go as far as 4. We've kissed 4 times. Now, can you imagine going to a party, and then the party won't start? Right, let's say you go to a social party or something at 9 o'clock. It won't start before 9:30. By the time you kiss everyone in the going to the party, then the party finally starts. Yeah. But yeah, and then we also shake hands. Do you shake hands in Italy a lot?
Yes. It's we shake the hands, and after it's a strong way, so you can see if it's soft, it's no good. It's be stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point. When we shake hands, it needs to be a strong shake hands. I have shook hands with a few people here in this country, and no disrespect whatsoever. Maybe because they're not used to it, it was a bit soft.
Mm-hmm.
And because when I first came to this country, I didn't meet many people shaking hands, and I was a bit taken aback because my question was, how on earth I'm going to make friends in this country if I can connect with them? Yeah. Yeah. So it was one of the difficulties, one of my difficulties. Yeah. Anyway, so we shake hands, we give kisses here. But can you imagine in this country if I was going around and kissing everybody?
People will think, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit cold, but here they use just shake their hand and give a
hug.
Hug, yeah.
Yeah, a hug. I think it's quite recent, I believe, because when I very first came in 1991, I didn't see anyone giving people hugs and stuff like that. So I don't know when that started, but I think it's pretty recent. So I think a couple of English people told me that is pretty recent. But it's nice. I mean, you can contact with people. Nice, yeah. But a hug in France wouldn't necessarily work because we kiss. Yeah, we give a hug sometimes. We call it embrassade. That probably will be the nearest translation that I could find for a hug. But that will be more like, it's a bit more rare. Usually we do kiss each other, we shake hands, and then the same at the end of the evening when we probably kiss each other goodbye and that kind of thing. So that, can you imagine saying goodbye takes half an hour? But saying that, I remember as a young adult, teenager, we were in a coffee shop, and coffee shops in France are open late as opposed to this country. A lot of coffee shops in this country close at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. And Costa in, I mean, not to name any brand name, I suppose, but big brand name like that. Sometimes in towns like Manchester, in city like Manchester and Liverpool, they probably tend to close later, like 9 o'clock in the evening. But usually when I go to Angers, all the coffee shops on the boulevard, they usually close in the evening about 11 o'clock.
Yeah, in Italy it's the same. They close late time by between 10, yeah?
Yeah, 10, 11 o'clock.
10, 11, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember going out a long time ago. I still have that picture in my mind. We were about 10 of us, 10, 12 of us, sat at the table in a coffee shop, all having a coffee. And well, we started what do you call it? Kissing each other. And yes, it took a little while before we actually ended up finish the coffee. Oh, can you just grab your cup?
The cup, yes.
Because interestingly speaking, when I have a coffee in France or in this country, there are some very interesting differences in the size of the coffee. Yeah. So my friend Ercole is going to grab Italian size of cup. Right, here we are. Now, this mini cup here. This is actually, for us, it's obviously like when we call it here a cortado. But even a cortado, when I have a cortado here in this country, the cup is twice the size of this.
Yeah, it's quite.
And so it's like that. And for us, it will be like a medium one. But in this country, it's small. And this, it just that would be like a medium latte, for example. In France, it's going to be a large one.
Large one, yeah.
Yeah, the large one. So it's interesting. Even with the size of the cups, is different. Can I put it on there?
Yeah. I'll put it back.
Yeah. So difference like that is very interesting. And so before I arrived at Ercole's house this morning, I had a nice, strong Italian coffee. Really enjoyed it. But it was about I drank it in the small cup, and that's the
Cafetiera.
The cafetiera.
Yes.
So that's the Italian cafetiera. Quite small, isn't it?
No, this is not small. This is one for 3 people.
Oh, that's for 3 people.
Yeah, this is for 3 people, for 2, and for 1.
And for 1, right? Excellent. So that's interesting. So there is. And also, there is an interesting difference with regards to when I go to a coffee shop in this country, right? I'll go around, and the waiters and waitresses are serving me. But I go and queue up and pick up my drink and my croissant, for example. In France, it's the opposite. I go and sit down first, and the waiter comes to you.
Oh, yeah.
Come to pick up the order, and then they know, and then a lot of them remember by heart. I remember some of them remember they like sell 5 or 6 tables at once, and they remember everything. Some of them take notes. If I was a waiter in France, I would certainly take notes. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Otherwise, I forgot to make it.
Because if you forget, that would be interesting. That would be quite amazing. If you forget, you get the wrong order to the wrong person, and that would be quite funny. But it's interesting. So I think we need to learn about these things, because can you imagine going to one of those big coffee shop in this country, then you forget that you were in the UK, so you go and sit down waiting for the waiter. You could be waiting for like 20 minutes, half an hour. What's going on?
Nobody's serve you.
When you suddenly realize, oh, I have to go and queue up now. Yeah. So interesting enough, I would like to ask my friend Ercole a couple of questions about life here. So what is it you like the most about the UK?
Like the most, what I'm doing here.
Pardon?
What I'm doing here. The most, like.
Well, what do you like?
What do I like here? In England, like there is a lot of parks. There's a lot of green, and I live in Manchester, so as well in the city center there are a lot of shops, so I can shopping, go to walk to the park, and what else?
So you go to work. So you work in an Italian restaurant, don't you?
I work in Italian restaurant, yes.
Okay. So how do you go to work?
Usually I go a choice about walking, that is 15 minutes, or get a bike, take 5 minutes, 7
Right.
minutes.
And then you can park your bike at the restaurant, can you?
Yeah, I park my bike on there is a small square
Yeah.
close to my workplace.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, but something interesting. When I go shopping, for example, when I go into like an industrial estate, like in Bolton, I live in Bolton, Greater Manchester, and when I go to some of the big supermarket there, so there is a coffee shop there, there is a French company that sells sports gear and stuff like that. But the car is limited to 3 hours. Right? So you go in, I mean, I think they want to do that to stop people parking there all day and going and walking into town. But when I go into industrial estate like that in France, I have never seen any limit on the car park. So you go there, so for example, there is about 10 kilometers from Angers, the Loire Valley, where my family lives. We go to that big industrial estate, if you wish, or commercial stuff with the supermarket, restaurant, and different things. But there is no limit on the car park. So whether that's an English, a UK thing, or a European thing, I'm not too sure what they do in countries like Belgium or Germany. But I know the different car parks in France when we go shopping with my mom and dad. It's going to be difficult now because obviously they're getting older now and they can't do much more. But they're still alright. But otherwise, I remember not having. So it's when I came to this country, I was a bit surprised. And some of them is only 2 hours. Yeah. So if you go, like, for example, shopping somewhere, and then we got a fine once when I went to Keighley. And then we stopped there. We had something to eat, and all the rest of it. To find out we were fined for 50 quid. Yeah, because I was used to the 3 hour in Bolton. It was only 2 hours over there. Yeah. So, and then you can avoid the fine only if you go to the checkout to the customer service and say, "Well, can I give you my plate number? We are going to stay longer because." And then some said, okay, if you eat at the cafeteria, yes, you can stay longer. So then you don't get fined. So that's the thing I didn't know until I came to this country. I never experienced it. Now, maybe things have changed in France. I'm not too sure. That'll be interesting to find out, yeah. So one of the awkward things is that when I first came and say hello and greeting each other and that kind of thing, because we do it in different ways. So if you do it the wrong way, people might go, hang on a minute, what? So if I am used to kissing people in France and I start kissing people here in the UK, they might just go, hang on a minute, what do you want? Yeah, and vice versa. When you go to France, I just say, oh, well, you start hugging people. Oh, what? Hang on a minute. I don't know you.
No.
So, and actually I was talking to one of my former colleagues, when I was working in the bank in France, to remind me, because I worked there over 30 years ago, and then they were talking about kissing, greeting each other in the morning, and he said, well, he said yes, we did kiss each other in the morning at work, but my good friend Jean-Marie told me that I didn't do it myself, I didn't kiss anybody, but yeah, most people did. Yeah, so it could be a bit confusing for expat people living in France, because in some regions you do 2 kisses, in some 3, and in some 4. So when you start kissing each other over there, you might ask, how many here in this region? So that's the interesting bit. The weather. Obviously, my dad has a joke about that. It's the weather in the UK. It's like it's the weather is nice several times a day. What it means by that, it's raining all the time.
It's changing a lot.
It's changing a lot. But saying that with climate change these days, and so things do change, and obviously, hopefully, some people are going to take notice of that. But that's probably be topic of another video, I suppose, but they don't have. Yeah, but but the weather is different. Yeah, that's very true.
In Italy where I live, the weather is very sunshine. It's a bit windy, not much clouds. But when it rains, and big thunderstorm, and the sound of the it's quite different.
It's quite different. Fantastic. Yeah.
But
okay. So which part of Italy do you come
I'm from Sicily.
Oh, from Sicily. So you got Italy. Is it Sicily? Is that the island of Sicily?
The island, yeah.
Yeah. So this is where you come from?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize you came from Sicily.
Yeah.
So do you have lots of family there left?
Yeah, I got my 2 brothers, my 2 sisters, my uncle, my auntie. Yeah.
So you got 2 sisters,
and
a brother?
And 2 brothers, yeah.
And 2 brothers.
Yeah.
2 sisters?
2 sisters.
And 2 brothers?
And 2 brothers,
yeah. So you're the only one that decided to come to, and you are in the middle, and you're the only one that decided to go.
I came here.
And what made you come here to the UK?
I got friends, they work, they go to school in catering. So...
Oh, you mean in the catering business?
Catering industry, yeah. And then they suggest, do you want to come to England? I say, I think about, and after I say yes. And I came here. Only surprise what I find here was the weather that wasn't changing, the full of cloud, overcast. I said, I wait 1 week, I wait the second week, still raining and the clouds. Yeah. But it's fine, and now I used to, so.
Okay, so that's fantastic. So that's how you did. How long ago have you come here?
I came in October 2005.
2005.
It was winter time. Yeah.
Yeah, winter time. So I came in 1991. Then I met my wife. I will be doing a video shortly. When I say shortly, not necessarily today, shortly with my wife, and all the up and downs and the adventures. So it's been interesting. Yeah, in terms of So if you but now obviously with the political situation changing, it's going to be more difficult for people to come and live here. There'll be a lot of restriction, but that's not for me to judge. That's what's happening. Okay, so regardless of the situation, obviously life in this country is interesting, challenging. Mm-hmm. It's challenging because of the language. It's challenging because when we speak English as expats, very, very few English people do correct your English. A lot of them say to you, oh, your English is great. But in fact, they don't quite mean that. They mean the opposite. Yeah.
Well, when they try to encourage you to speak in English, otherwise you can never practice.
Yeah, you have to speak English in English. Yeah. And so how to correct yourself? Then I'll suggest for a lot of how to correct yourself. Then I joined a speakers club. That's one of my best decisions. About 2 years ago now, I joined Salford Speakers, which is part of Toastmasters International. And I think that was one of the best choices I have made in this country, because I could actually correct my English. I started to speak better, even though I did a degree in this country in 1995. Okay, but even people say, oh, your English is great, when in fact they couldn't understand a word I was saying. And then they probably couldn't understand enough, I suppose, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. But it was interesting. So so I would encourage any expat people. One of the way I found myself to improve your own mother tongue, your second language, is to actually go to Toastmasters clubs, Toastmasters International, or if there is not a Toastmasters, I know there is another association of speakers, and they have a similar event. So it's like but when you go there, because it's a friendly environment, it's a great place to actually fail if you think you're not good at it, because it's a very supporting environment. Okay. And that really taught me how to slow down, how to pace my English better, how to pause when I need to pause. Yeah. And now since then, I've just enjoyed doing public speaking, and I want to do more and more and more. It's becoming an addiction, but it's a good addiction. Yeah. So but yes, I would definitely recommend it to any expat who want to improve their second language. Some people might say, "Oh, but yeah, I can't speak in front of people and all that." No, I couldn't. For me, it was only a dream years ago, about 5-10 years ago. It was just only a dream. But inside, I wanted to do it. But it took me time. But once you've done it, great, you've done it. I think sometimes the first step to take in whatever venture you want to take, the first step is important. And then once you've done that, is commitment, you know. But obviously the choice is yours. So what I would say okay, so to finish this video this morning, it's still a morning, absolutely. It's 5 to 12 now.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 to 12. Okay, so what would you say to any people coming here in this country? I mean, for example, I'll give you a last example. It's a practical example. In this country, there is a citizen advice bureau.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that yourself. Citizen advice bureau, because and they need help. It's you can get help in this country all in one place at the Citizen advice bureau. So when people need to advice on debts, for example. Debt, yeah. Advice on maybe other things like if somebody loses a job, how do I claim for benefits? Even though it's a taboo word for many people in this world, in this country, and then and other things like housing. So you can all find in one place, and they will direct you. And I remember one of the first things, and I had been in this country only for a year or less, and I had a problem with an insurance, and I knew I was right, but I couldn't defend myself because it's at the time really because of I only had a working knowledge of English, and the insurance will probably play on that. But when they realized when I contacted the CIB, I had an appointment with them, and I was right at the time. I was right, and I can't remember what the incident was about the insurance, but because I had the CIB behind me, then I won my case. Yeah, at the time, and. So which was very good, because otherwise I think it would have been difficult. It was not the end of the world though. It was not a massive case, but it was important enough for me to solve it in the best possible way. So if anything, so for any expat, one of the first point of contact would be the Citizen Advice Bureau. One of the first point of contact in France is I would go to the mairie, to the town hall. Yeah, so that will be one of our first contact. Okay. Oh, ping, 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 ping. Can I hear you?
As a message somebody sent.
Oh, somebody sent you a message. That's okay, that's fine. We're entitled to get messages. Okay, guys, so I would say, so this was Ercole. So you've been here since?
2005.
And you've been working in that restaurant how long for?
14 years.
Oh, 14 years now.
Actually, no, when's it? 2007. 12 years.
12 years. So that
12
restaurant in Manchester.
Yes.
And then personally, I've been working in different areas. I've been working in prisons teaching. I've been working in colleges. I've been working in youth clubs for a while. I am self-employed now, and I am hoping to build a business. But now, I am hoping. No, that's not the right word. I am building one now. Okay, that will be the topic of another video. So the next one, as I said earlier, is going to be with my wife and all the adventures that we went through and all that. Yeah. So I would say goodbye for now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Put any comment below, please, and then anything. Subscribe. You can see the subscribe button below the video and all that. Okay. So, goodbye for now. Thank you.
Thank you.